Hi there, welcome back to ET. Now you're watching Market Cafe with me, Kanishka Sarkar and Srishti Sharma. Time now to take a look at how the Asian markets have opened up this morning. Well, first up, let's start with Japan's Nikkei, which is, it is largely a sea of green on the Asia-Pacific front. Let's start with Japan's Nikkei. It's trading more than % higher right now, up more than 600 points at that 48,338 level. And it's SoftBank, which is actually in focus as far as the Japanese markets are concerned. It has risen more than 13% actually. This is after it announced that it has agreed to buy the robotics division of ABB Global in a $5.4 billion deal. So that's the reason why the stock is up nearly 13% in trade today. Now let's take a look at some of the other indices on other first up, Australia's S&P ASX 200. That is also trading in the green. It's up 0.3% right now at that 8,976 odd level. Other than that, there's Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index, which is the only one which is trading in the red right now among its Asian peers. It's down nearly 1% at that 26,569 odd level. Other than that, the Chinese market has opened today after holidays. It's trading pretty high, marginally higher, but yes, still 0.2% higher right now at the 3,890 level. Apart from that, South Korea's Kospi Index, that is South Korean markets are closed for a holiday today and hence the market is closed. It did end on a positive note in the previous session when it was trading, but it's been closed for a few days for market holidays. But if we talk about the Nifty, we did end near the close, near the day's lowest level as far as the Nifty is concerned. Yesterday, we just managed to hold on to that 25,046 level, just ended above that 25,000 level, down about 0.6% yesterday. But if we take a look at how the markets are expected to open today, well, marginally higher is what I would say. Just a 32 points uptick is what we are expecting as far as the Nifty is concerned. And so, yes, a positive start is what we are penciling in. But not very high, just about 30 points of uptick is what we are expecting at the start, Srishti.
Well, yes, a bit of a positive bias over there, but just yesterday we have seen bulls taking a bit of a breather on Dalal Street as the market saw a broad-based selling off as it was seen to be raising its 4-day positive momentum. Now, Nifty ended below that 25,100 mark, while Nifty Bank just narrowly held on to that 56,000 level. Let me take it across to Snehi, who is here with more details from the market action. Snehi.
Well, yes, the market saw a subdued trading day. A slight fall in the Nifty from the day's high is something that we've seen towards the end of market close. So if you take a look at the Nifty levels, 25,040 thereabouts is where Nifty shut shop, a 0.2% cut there. Similar cut coming in for the sensex. Nifty Bank was hovering around that 56,000 mark all throughout the course of the day. So some cut on Nifty Bank as well, about 0.3 to 0.4% cut is something we've seen over there too. Titan, the top Nifty 50 gainer in trade on the back of healthy Q2 updates, and managed to hold on to that 4% plus gain and sustain those gains throughout the day. That was followed by some IT names like Infosys, TCS, HCL Tech Mahindra. All of them did very well. Nifty IT was the only and the top sectoral gainer, because you had everything else that managed to shut shop in the red. IT was the only one that shut shop in the green. Other than that, Eternal, Bharti Airtel, they all did well from the Nifty group of stocks. On the flip side, pressure continued to build on some auto names like Tata Motors, M&M, Hero Moto, the top sectoral Nifty losers. That was followed by Geo Financial, BEL, Ultratech Cement, as well as Trent, that continues to be under pressure on the back of its soft Q2 update. Advanced decline ratio was in the favor of the declines. You had the broader end of the market also that underperformed the benchmarks. In fact, the cuts were deeper compared to the benchmarks on the smaller end of the market, about 0.5% cut coming in for both the mid-cap and the small-cap space. Sectorally, like I mentioned, IT, both mid-cap and large-cap did well. The top sectoral loser was Nifty Realty with names like Sobha, Anantraj, Oberoi Realty. Anantraj was down 5% on the back of its QIP news. So top loser from the real estate pack, followed by Godrej Properties, DLF, Brigade. All of them did very poorly. You had metals that made an appearance in the green for a bit but then slipped back into the red. So names like Nalco, Hindustan Copper, Tata Steel, NMDC did well. On the flip side, you had Jindal Steel, JSW Steel. Those stocks were under some pressure. So that is what the market roundup was in terms of gainers and losers. IT on the winning side, realty on the losing side, followed by auto, energy, PSU banks, pharma, FMCG and Nifty Bank. So that was the market roundup, barely above the 25,000 mark. But let's see what holds for the market when the BSE sensex expiry comes into play.
All right, thank you, Snehi, for taking us through that roundup. But which are the stocks that we need to track in today's trading session? Ashesha is here with just that list. Ashesha, over to you. Good morning.
Well, yes, let's start with a whole host of companies that have reported operational updates for the quarter gone by, and Concor, or Container Corporation of India, has reported solid set of operational updates for the second quarter, where total throughput has come in at about 14.4 lakh TEUs, an uptick of nearly 10.5% on a year-on-year basis. Export-import throughput is up 9%. Domestic throughput has also seen a solid uptick of nearly 17% on a year-on-year basis. So very strong set of operational updates that Container Corporation of India has reported. Senco Gold, meanwhile, largely in line with street expectations, where revenue saw growth of 6.5% YOY in the second quarter, but the outlook on consumer demand for the third and the fourth quarter of this year continues to remain very positive. So the management commentary and outlook is very positive, although the operational data for the quarter gone by is steady. 6.5% YOY growth is what the company has reported for the second quarter. Prestige Estates, meanwhile, again a very strong set from this real estate player, where second quarter pre-sales have risen by a solid 50% on a year-on-year basis, and they have already achieved the total guidance for the full year in the first half of the year itself, where they reported highest ever first half sales of about 18,150 odd crores. So very strong set of operational update that Prestige Estates has reported. Satvik Green Energy, a recently listed counter, has reported its numbers, very strong set of numbers for them as well. Revenue is up 3 times on a year-on-year basis. EBITDA margins have come in at 19.3%. versus 13.2% that the company had reported same time last year. EBITDA and net profit have also seen a massive growth on a year-on-year basis. So very strong set of numbers that Satvik Green Energy has reported. Escorts Kubota, meanwhile, on the back of their investment, where they said that they will be investing about 2,000 crore by 2031. This is for their Haryana unit, and this is for agriculture and construction equipment sector. So 2,000 crore investment is what Escorts Kubota has announced. And lastly, let's also talk about Lupin, where they've announced plans for setting up a new state-of-the-art manufacturing facility. This is in Coral Springs, United States. This will be done with an investment of $250 million US, which will be done over the period of next 5 years. So on the back of this investment update that has come in, keep an eye out on Lupin as well.
Thank you so much, Ashesha, for getting us all those details. But with this, let's also tell you which are some of the other counters that you should be watching out for in today's trading session. And first up is HFCL, as the company has actually won export orders worth over 300 crores. That's a new order win for the company, where they say that this is for the supply of optical fiber cables. This is for one of the overseas subsidiaries, but for a renowned international customer. So positive news flow for this particular counter. IRB Inwit, a news flow coming in as the company has launched a QIP with a floor price of 62.7 per unit, and they have also approved the fundraising of over 1,000 crores through a preferential issue of its unit. Coal India as well as Ircon are going to be in focus today, as both of these companies have actually gone ahead and executed a non-binding MOU for the development of rail infrastructure of Coal India's and its subsidiaries. And along with that, all eyes will be on GR Infra, as well as the company has received a letter of acceptance from State Highways Authorities of Jharkhand of 290 crores of an order win. Now, GRSC as well as Centum Electronics are going to be in focus as well, because Centum Electronics and GRSC forged partnership to co-develop the indigenous advanced navigation system for Indian Navy, and Info Edge has actually come out with its Q2 update. So we will be watching out for, because the company said that the standalone billing is standing at 729 crores, and that's a jump of over 12% on a YY basis. And within the auto pack, Eicher Motors will be in focus, because Eicher Motors and VECV as well as Volvo, they both have come out with a capex plan where they plan to manufacture Volvo Group's industry-leading automated manual transmission VECV. JV between Volvo Group and Eicher Motors announced an investment of over 540 crores crores for the production and final assembly of the Volvo Group's automated manual transmission. So all of these counters are something that we will be watching out for.
Absolutely, Srishi. Lots of counters to watch out for, and let's see how they pan out. But on that note, we'll take a very short break. Be right back with more news and updates coming up on the other side. Hi there, welcome back to ET. Now you're watching Market Cafe with me, Kanishka Sarkar and Srishti Sharma. Time now to take a look at several other news updates that we have coming in. The India Mobile Congress, or IMC 2025, is being held at Yashobhoomi Convention Centre in New Delhi. Union Minister of Communication Jyotiraditya Scindia spoke to my colleague Sameer Dikshit on 6G, BSNL and a whole host of topics related to the telecom sector. Let's listen in to this exclusive conversation.
The standards and protocols are being set at ITU in WRC 27. B6GA is assiduously working, a group of more than 80 institutions and stakeholders working together to ensure that India has at least 10% of the patents of the protocol that is put in place. We have 7 working groups working day and night to put together white papers, constructive suggestions, some of which have already been accepted at the ITU level, like ubiquitous connectivity, and I'm monitoring it on a quarterly basis.
Sir, one question on BSNL part. I was unable to talk when the BSNL 4G was rolled out.
Correct.
Now, what I understand that you have been aggressively forcing that BSNL come up with a competitive scale as other companies are. About BSNL, how you're planning to
Well, let me say this, that BSNL in the last month has acquired over 14 lakh customers.
Oh.
We are now at 9.17 crore customers. Last June, we were at 8.5 crore customers. We have also, as I said, done the highest capex in the history of BSNL's 25 years. Last year, 25,000 crore capex. Prime Minister has unveiled 1 lakh towers of our Swadeshi 4G stack last week, and we are very confident that BSNL will continue to serve our customers with cutting-edge technology.
And one question on the SATCOM part, because there are a couple of reservations. Just one last take on the SATCOM part, sir. It has been said that there are certain reservations, especially checking the way some companies are being favored. Just on this particular part.
Which companies favored?
The way the global giant, they are trying to enter India. And
Everyone is welcome in India.
Okay.
India is a huge market, and everyone is welcome provided they tick all the boxes and they comply with all the rules.
Okay.
And it's the same pro forma of rules for every player that comes here.
All right, but my colleague Sameer Dikshit has also interacted exclusively with MOS of Telecom Ministry, Pemasani Chandrasekhar, on upcoming projects in telecom sector. Let's go across and listen in.
No, I mean, definitely, work is going very well. We have a target of at least putting 10% of the standards coming from India in the entire 6G.
Okay.
It's slated to be in 2030 is the standards that would be coming first standards.
Okay.
In that standards, we want 10%.
Okay.
To make that available, we have created this 6G Alliance.
Okay.
And our Honorable Minister Scindia ji, myself, we are continuously reviewing on where we are in terms of this work.
Okay.
So I think we're going at a good pace, and the government has given from Technology Development Fund almost for 120 companies for 6G, not only 6G, little bit quantum and everything.
Okay.
So all of these are coming well.
In addition to this, we have also seen that government is now aggressively focusing on the revival of BSNL. Yeah. The way they are looking to make BSNL a very important telecom player. Yeah. How the progress is?
No, that is also going very well. First time in BSNL history, myself, I'm reviewing with every circle every month.
Every circle every month?
Every month. And we are doing very systematically, measurable, objective base. Okay. What is the BTS uptime? How many cable cuts have happened in the last month?
Okay.
Are they intentional or unintentional? What is the mean time to recovery? And then all the SLA-based payments the BSNL provides have to be based on the performance, not just like, these kind of micro-level monitoring is happening at the minister's level, first time in the history.
All right, then lots of conversations coming from the IMC. Now, Samir also caught up with SP Kocher, who's the Director General at COAI at the India Mobile Congress. Let's go across and listen into this exclusive piece as well.
The Prime Minister very importantly said that we can become a hub for data centers. So we are ourselves producing a lot of data. We are consuming data. So we require data centers to come up. Those data centers don't have to be only for India, that they can be global data centers.
Okay.
I think that is the feeling I got, that data centers are going to become important in policy.
In addition to this, now we are seeing a shift in focus and kind of optimism for 6G technology. We are at 5G, 4G penetration is increasing from BSNL side. When it comes to 6G part, currently how we are progressing and how the important stakeholders, they are contributing.
Now there is a 6G symposium going on, where the progress of the 6G task force is being enunciated. The government has taken, along with industry, a lot of initiatives to see that maximum amount of patents come from India for 6G. There are a number of task forces which have been set up. One of them is a use case task force. So one of them is a standards task force. So we are going about it very methodically. And if the manner in which we are going, that if that brings dividends, we will definitely be a leader in 6G.
All right, but with this fears, it's once again time to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Market Cafe right here on ET Now, and let's talk about Carrot Lane, which is doing exceedingly well, and a lot of younger audience are demanding more modern options in gold, says Titan's jewelry business CEO Ajay Chawla. In the latest edition of the interview, Titan is betting on lightweight designs, new alloys, exchange offers and flexible pricing to keep buyers engaged. Chawla believes festive and wedding demand will bring that Titan's growth sparkle continues in the times ahead. Let's go across and listen in.
Mia is a sub-brand of Tanishq, which is doing exceedingly well. Carrot Lane we acquired as a digital player, and now it's an omni player in a big way. It's doing exceedingly well. And we see so many other players in the market who are catering to the young and modern segment. So clearly precious jewelry is still in. The difference that I see is that the younger segment wants more wearable jewelry as opposed to locker jewelry.
Yeah.
In our Mia stores, in our Carrot Lane stores, a lot of young people saying, how come you are not giving us more modern gold options? In Tanishq stores also, we've had to introduce a lot of modern gold products, catering to a younger demography and a more modern demography. They may not be young, they're young in mindset also. So the modern demography also wants gold.
All right, so that's about Carrot Lane. But moving on, AI takes the spotlight at the Global FinTech Fest as corporates see enhanced efficiency in the way businesses operate in the future. Financial inclusion is another big highlight for the fintech community, as Niti Aayog also flags credit penetration that needs to deepen. The ecosystem is urging to accept the transformative role of fintech in meeting the country's financial needs. But all eyes today will be on Prime Minister Modi's address at the conclave. Ankur Mishra, my colleague, is here to tell us what we need to watch out for.
Yes, it's third and final day of Global FinTech Fest, and all eyes will be there on UK PM Starmer as well as Prime Minister Narendra Modi. What kind of statements are made from the platform of GFF? Although the earlier plan of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the UK PM meeting is there, but here he will meet the CEOs of different entities. All the fintechs as well as banks which are there in the country will be meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And remember, even Reserve Bank of India Governor made huge statements about the innovation which is planned by the regulator. He announced about the unified market interface and which RBI is conceptualizing. Remember, even ULI was earlier announced by Reserve Bank, and the work has already begun. And once these two are conceptualized, it will be new age in the innovation of Indian banks, as well as the banking sector, as well as the fintechs. But more importantly, Sanjay Malhotra is also going to make one more appearance in GFF today. And not only him, there will be other important bankers who will be speaking at GFF along with Krish Gopalakrishnan. You will also have KV Kamath, who will be speaking at GFF. So whole host of representatives who are going to make statements. But most important, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Starmer, that briefing will happen at GFF.
Indeed, but ET now also caught up with Mayank Batwal, who is the CEO of Aditya Birla Health Insurance, on the sidelines of the Global FinTech Fest, where he shared his insights into how AI is powering insurance sector. Take a look.
Overall technology, AI, and many other related areas of usage is really helping all industries, including insurance. Usages are immense. As organizations, we have to keep looking at it, and we are doing a lot of investment in this area.
With technology going ahead, what kind of new changes you will see in health insurance and overall insurance industry?
We are amongst the lead insurers there. We have just launched two kinds of insurance, where one loan attachment, and we have also done in full-fledged health insurance product on ONDC, where you can get both sides to come. So it is what? Leveraging technology, where they are bringing open network, where bringing buyer and seller apps onto the same platform. So it will cut down distribution cost, one of the things that we all want to do. It will bring in many more forms of distribution, let's say on a platform like ONDC.
So now the Bima Sugam platform, which is said that it will democratize the insurance, then Bima Sugam is there, then a national health claim exchange is there, and now common empanelment also companies are working. So if we amalgamate everything, so you can say that all the amalgamation of all these initiatives is possible because of technology and AI and all these efforts.
I think it will be making insurance accessible to very large set of consumers from a buying perspective. The other thing is the whole experience. So, that as an industry, we are now trying to, again, leverage technology to, bring many more hospitals on the panel. It can make the whole experience, let's say in a cashless environment, so seamless. And the other thing is all data will flow to the insurance company seamlessly for even future utilization. So, I think technology will not only disrupt the way it is doing, but make, as I use the word, it accessible to a much larger mass, including the last mile in tier 2, tier 3 and smaller towns where the current brick and mortar distribution model is not possible.
Right, so that's the word coming from Aditya Birla Health. But moving on, Ankur Mishra, my colleague, also caught up with DFS economic advisor Abhijit Pukon to understand the digital lending platforms and more. Let's find out what he had to say.
Going forward, we will see there will be a lot of demand in the space of digital lending, who is actually catering to the segments which are either have a limited access to the formal credit ecosystem or completely, untapped geographies, untapped segments. So the initiatives taken by the government and the regulator putting together the technology infusion will ensure that there will be a lot of demands coming forward, and digital lending will definitely, going to play a very, very critical role.
Right. We were speaking about economy now. Reserve Bank of India forecast says 6.8%. There has been several upgrades if you talk about in last 3 to 4 months, and rating agency upgrade has also happened. Do you think we have potential to grow beyond 7%?
I believe credit is going to play a very, very critical role. It fuels economic growth. If you historically see the
All right, but along with that, all eyes will be today on the IT major TCS, which will be reporting its Q2 earnings. Let me take it across to Mansi, who is here with what to expect from the company. Mansi.
So yeah, we are expecting a muted quarter for the IT sector in particular. And if we talk about the IT major TCS, the expectations for TCS too are muted for that matter. However, it is expected to post revenue growth of 2.5% on a quarter-on-quarter basis. And if you talk about the international business, that will see a growth of around 1% is what our expectations say. And at the same time, if we consider the segment-specific approaches for the company, we are assuming the BSNL to ramp up around in the third quarter in particular, and the performance of the BSNL ramping up in third quarter. And also we expect the margins to stay intact at 25%. So that's one thing which should be intact. We do see a 2.5% upsurge in the revenue growth. And if we talk about the dollar revenue, around 0.5% of increase in the dollar revenue is what is expected. Talking about the profits, it might see a dent of around 1.4%. That's a downtrend of around 1.4%. Profit might see a decline due to the 1 month impact of the wage hikes which were seen, the talent investments, the lower utilization and constrained leverages. So these are the concerns and factors because of which the profit might see a downtrend. And at the same time, if we talk about the productivity in particular, the pyramid and productivity gains remain key levers, but pricing pressure, client behavior and the Gen AI transition signals which we have seen, it's a start of realignment for that matter as vendors adapt pricing and delivery models. So technology it is, and technology has to keep changing, and as they say, change is inevitable. So clearly the pyramid and productivity gains remain the key levers as we see. The key monitorables this time for the results are outlook on near-term demand and tech budgets, at the same time outlook on BFSI vertical and the deal win scenarios. So all in all, it might be a muted quarter with a revenue growth witnessing an uptick of around 2.5%. The dollar revenue might see an uptick of around 0.5%, and at the same time, the profit might see a friction of around 1.5%. So that's the expectation for TCS.
All right, thank you, Mansi, for taking us through that. Let's see how TCS numbers pan out actually. But with that, we're completely timed out on this edition of Market Cafe. Srishti and I will take your leave, but don't go anywhere as the market will take all the action forward.